We are on the ever-important decider matches. These are between the 4 players in Group A that have 1-1 scores, and the ones that manage to win just one more will move on to the final day. And to kick it off, we have Amnesiac versus Forsen. We just saw Forsen play. Never lucky with Shaman, I guess, but he's going to have to be. Shaman and Druid are the decks of the tournament to beat so far. What do you think? What do you think, Frodan? Is it going to be the Rogue bonus class or the Mage bonus class that's going to take it here? I think you're muted. Okay, so it's not just me. Okay, well, I'll try to interpret what Frodan's saying. He's saying, yes,
oh,
I love
sorry, man. I actually had my mic muted for the break. I apologize. Production value, it's Frodan's fault. Blame Frodan.
Blame Frodan.
Right after you sat me as well. So I'm talking about the lineups. There's a lot of debate on how Standard will continue to form, but it's very, very clear that at least from the players' perspectives, Druid and Shaman are very solid. Now, I do want to remind you guys about 2 things. The first is that this will completely change when Standard gets their new expansion, because Standard won't release until we get the actual expansion. It's not going to be like Standard and then a month later the expansion comes. Second thing is that this is only half the player pool, and it's only based off what they decide the metagame is. They all collectively think Druid and Shaman are the most represented class, but there could be a sleeper class that does really well. For example, Trump's Warlock deck, which could be the MVP of the tournament. But then it might conveniently run to a Rogue deck, which happens to be very good against Zoo. So there's all this like different dynamics of it. I think Rogue versus Mage, I'm tending to lean towards the Rogue because it feels like it has a lot more ability to fight against the field. But at the same time, Forsen's done like 50-50 with the Mage so far, and you can't really argue with results if it gets a win.
And the Rogue is probably around there as well. I mean, the Rogues in tournaments that we've seen have been roughly 50%. Now, Amnesiac, we did not get to see his second match against Eloise, but I believe he defeated her 3-0. And his match in his opening game was rather close. So it seems like we have 2 pretty good contenders on our hands leading into this.
It is. Forsen has the Tempo Mage, and he's got the experience of playing in many events. Amnesiac is still new to events. I met him at the Team Brawl. He's not really that nervous in competitions because he's also played in a lot of sports and stuff. He's like a high school athlete, so he's entered a lot of events before. But at the same time, it's still one of those things where you're being scrutinized by tens of thousands of people, and Forsen, deals with people of Amnesiac's age every day when he logs on. So he's very well prepared for this kind of pressure from the youngins.
All right. Well, we'll have to see how it'll take off here. I feel like Forsen got a bit unlucky in that last Shaman game against Strife Crow. I still think he has the favorite deck in the Shaman mirror. So I kind of think that that should be factored in a little bit. I think both the players are playing very similar Druid decks. We've seen Harrison Jones in the past, but I don't believe it was from either one of these players, so that's not really a factor. Hopefully the players in the end who have brought some of these tech choices will be rewarded for it, but with any one of tech choice, it's going to be hit and miss. I mean, you can't really expect to draw any specific card in any one game, so we'll see, but for now, I would give the edge to Forsen just because of the slight advantages in some of the choices that he has. Oh,
yeah, I would say
there we go, Harrison Jones.
I actually went back and looked. It was Tice versus Amnesiac when Tice got the Harrison Jones as priest against the Shaman. Now Amnesiac is also running Harrison Jones. In fact, it feels like he's running a lot like the list that he posted on his social media that he got like top 50 legend or so with the Strangleborn Tigers and the Harrison Jones. Obviously, instead of Shredder, though, he runs with things like the Savage Combatant, which are also very good. Part of the reason why Savage Combatant even got a bad rap in the first place was because of Shredder. But sorry, okay, I'm stepping on you right now.
Oh, that wild growth is disgusting. That's Savage Combatant, Innervate, Hero Power to kill the Trog.
Yep. really big, but it doesn't go unchecked. The lava burst will allow the totem golem to answer, and then you're in the spot where you probably just want to swipe, right?
Hmm. Do you lava
Because you don't
burst?
want to give
I
up
guess you
Harrison.
do. That card is so scary. Yeah, you're right. Oh man, you gotta save that Harrison.
Okay,
Twice it is. Yeah, with 2, it's a much easier decision.
Yeah. But you know, Forsen can't actually develop anything behind this, so Amnesiac can get some pretty commanding board spot by using Keeper of the Grove, and that, I mean, that's a 2/4, and it's not the most imposing thing, but you know, together with Swipe and Hero Powers, it can really pick apart almost anything Shaman puts out.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing the same game played out, where the Druid, usually through Summer Ramp, gets a little bit of a head start, and it just keeps it. It feels like the Shaman has such problems coming back on the board.
He doesn't want to Doomhammer on 5 because he has so many cards and minions on board. I like it. It's only 1 overload, so he still could Doomhammer the following turn. Good flexibility developed here. And that's going to mean Ancient of Lore gets dropped. Picking up some... Oh, I was thinking he was going to draw, but you know what? He's being super careful, going up to 30 health.
Oh, man.
What do you think,
yeah,
Griff?
I think that's like, hey, bro, I have a Harrison. I think that's like too revealing. I think you just got to draw to keep that part secret. We haven't. I don't think we've seen Harrison in his Druid deck.
No, not previously. So I don't think Forsen's working off that knowledge. But he's not playing it either.
But now he will be. But like after that play, it's a no-brainer.
No, but I'm saying he's not playing it yet because he has more minions. And I mean, these minions are pretty imposing as well. Flame, I mean, his next turn he might just Ardent Horse Rider Flame Jugger. Like sometimes you're forced to play the Doomhammer because you have nothing else, but there's other alternative plays.
Okay.
Yeah, this swipe's huge.
But there's no Trog to BGH. What do you do?
I don't know. Like, I guess you just Flame Juggler and you play the big game hunter to start killing off the totem golems. Oh man!
Oh, here we go.
Let's see what Amnesiac chooses to do with these emotes.
I wonder what play he'll make here.
Oh man, he's trying to contain his face. He tilts his head back because that Doomhammer belongs in a museum, and Forsen is about to get completely outcarded here. Oh.
No innervate will actually mean a pretty clunky hand, though. He's like, look, he drew 6 cards and none of them are good here. None of them. They all suck.
Living Roots BGH.
Yeah, actually, oh no, he's gonna kill it. Okay, I think Living Roots BGH may have worked out a little bit better.
Yeah, one of the curses of playing Druid is sometimes you just draw all mid-range minions and you don't have enough mana to use it. Another Doomhammer? That's just one of those really funny things where second Doomhammer ends up being like drawn right off the top and you resume damage as normal.
Alright, well damage is being resumed at least.
Yeah, he's not out of the woods, but
Double
2 Druid of the Claws. And look at those TGT board minions cheering in the background.
Yay! Plus 12.
Hooray!
Oh god. Alright, well, he can actually kill one Druid of the Claw without any casualties, but I believe he will have to pass afterwards. Which doesn't feel good at all.
At least swipes were used, so there's no
both swipes
possibility
were
for
used.
swipe destroying him. Yeah, Amnesiac is trying to find every single way he can not die from this position, and
I think it's gonna have to be yeah, either you Ancient of War or yeah, you have to Hero Power, I guess. I was thinking you could maybe Wild Growth and try to get a Force of Nature. That would help clearing a lot.
Yeah, the Force of Nature would have been pretty huge, but I think this is just reliable because the Ancient of War is kind of like a Force of Nature. Everything has to attack into it. Flametongue Totem, not bad, but not enough.
Yeah, it's still a little short.
Yeah, like a lot short actually. Because now this is where you turn the tides. 5, 10, 16 damage. 19 damage right now. Yeah, I guess you can just clear,
What about
play Ragnaros.
I think I'd go double face, just keep her the spell damage totem, and Thorson. Oh, Ragnaros.
Yeah, it's 8 damage. It's 16 damage over 2 turns, so it's just like almost guaranteed lethal. Even if Shaman played like Elemental Destruction, it wouldn't clear the board either. So I like it.
Yeah, you're right about that. Okay. Earth Shock, Lava Burst.
That's 2 series in a row that Force is dropping a game 1, like the first game that Shaman plays to
He hasn't
Druids.
lost yet.
Well, him, so
He hasn't lost.
in the previous series against Strife, I thought this was kind of the same thing, where Strife just outlasted him. So Earth Shock to stay alive, but we all know what's actually happening here.
That's a rip.
But it's a good effort because he just doesn't have enough burn. If he was only able to get more damage with the Doom Hammer. I think that's just guaranteed lethal if you use Keeper and Savage Roar here. Oh, I like it. Styling. I like it a lot. Oh, it's so good. The moment Ragnaros gets to get his hands dirty.
Too soon.
You know if Forsen gets a chance to, he's gonna strike back with vengeance.
If he gets a chance to, we'll see.
He's gonna do the emote sampler. He's gonna make his way around the wheel. You know, do a little bit of extra damage unnecessarily to his own face. It's gonna be great. I love it.
Amnesiac gets the first point on the board. It is a Druid victory. Shallowest of victories in this format from what we've seen so far. Druids have not had much difficulty winning games. Shamans have struggled a little bit. For as popular as Shaman is, I feel like it's the typical overplayed tournament class. There's always like, everyone plays that one class and then everyone has tech choices or counters against it. It doesn't really work all as well as you'd think it would. It kind of feels like Shaman is there. Like it's played almost as much as Druid, but its win rate is considerably lower.
Yeah, but it also could be the fact that it's just the de facto next best deck that's available. And so it'll always lose to something that's Druid that's a little bit better than it. And then
2-pair!
3 high.
That's a horrible 2-pair.
The same exact scenarios.
What do you go with here?
Power Up's not irrelevant. Fire Blast is also pretty good for board control.
I think I like Fire Blast. There's just so many minions with 1 health.
I like it too. I think it's just better on board, which is ultimately what you care about. There's also something to be said where Reinforce builds up a reasonable board too. And on turn 2, you're going to be... making a 1-1 is not too bad, but Fire Blast also gives you leverage over things like Knife Juggler and whatnot. Amnesiac going through some of the emotes to get into Forsen's head, but if you know Forsen, he already squelched him like 2 minutes ago when the game started.
Alright. Wow, that feels bad. Feels really bad.
Yeah, no coin on the Leper Gnome either, because he knows he just gets pinged by the hero power. And now he's overloaded for 1, so he's going to play double Leper Gnome. Oh!
I still like Leper Gnome here because playing Leper Gnome into 2 mana is very different than playing Leper Gnome into 3 mana. You often welcome a ping in this situation.
Okay, that's fair. Because then you make him float 1 mana and have to have a 1-drop when you already used 1. Completely reasonable. Totem Golem trying to bring back the board state. Based off of this, though, you can't coin Doomhammer.
Yeah, and that is a little bit of an issue. That makes every card in your hand dead. You can't even Lava Burst, because if you Lava Burst, then you couldn't coin Doomhammer the following turn either. So I actually don't like that too much. I think it's too heavily based on drawing well next turn, which there's no guarantee of that in this deck.
Yeah. Lava Shock, trying to bring back the board a little bit under control for Amnesiac. Forsen needs to draw something to play that doesn't overload him too much. He can overload for 1 still.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no! You don't want to use that. Is this just going to be a hero power turn? Hero power trade?
Do you
have
trade?
to trade? Yes, you trade. Because if you get hero powered, you know your opponent has very little, and spell damage totem is very valuable. Whoa!
That's
holy cow!
Let's see.
The hammer race!
16, 21, 24. And that will cost
What's
mana.
that game where like the robots just like punch each other and you just click one button constantly? This is that.
There's a game like that I played recently called Dive Kick. The entire game you just dive kick, you just jump and keep dive kicking.
Oh, this is that.
He also has his own Doomhammer, by the way. And he can also pick up Rockbiter. And then we can just have a 2 Rockbiter Lava Burst face-off.
Yep.
Which, let's see, the Doomhammers.
Alright.
I don't think that spell totem's irrelevant.
I've also learned that you can't squelch in spectate mode.
Yeah, so
the streamer has
each other
unlimited BM privilege on the viewers.
You know what? Sir Finley might not be too bad if you can pick up something to keep yourself alive in the race. Or even to accelerate the damage. He's going for it, I like it.
Alright.
He's just gonna assume, right now, Amnesiac has 16, 19 damage available to him. And I'd say you go for it.
Whoa.
Wait, would you want to hero power so you can... No, it doesn't. Actually, you can maximize your damage that way, I like.
Definitely hero power.
Because then you get guaranteed lethal next turn. Forsen has to draw exact lethal right now with a Rockbiter.
Yeah, he has
to... mana? Yeah. Oh my god.
Can't do it. Looks like elements will not destroy Amnesiac today. In fact, it is the elements that will destroy Forsen.
Oh man.
Should have picked a better hero power.
Nah, that's a race. This was the equivalent of the 100-meter sprint in Hearthstone.
I think if Forsen was given a defensive hero power, it would have been a good choice to take it. Because he had lethal no matter what. Oh, here we go!
Oh, let's go.
Destroy you.
That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. He's going to 8. Is he going to go to double-digit emotes? That's 10. That's 10. He's got a dozen elements that's going to destroy Forsen. Oh my god! And you know what the worst part is? Forsen probably emoted him. Oh, sorry, squelched him, and then you can see the white border around the hero portrait, so you know what's happening. Forsen concedes, doesn't give him the satisfaction, but I think Amnesiac...
There was plenty of satisfaction there already. Alright. Well, it is Amnesiac on his final deck, which is Rogue, which is like the third wheel of what we've seen today. Not Shaman, not Druid, but he only has to win 1. And I think he has a decent matchup against really everything. If the Druid doesn't get ramp, I think the Rogue is fine, because it's a slow game, Miracle, it's going to win. Against the Mage, if it draws anti-aggro tools, which Miracle decks do have those, it's probably going to win. I'm thinking maybe Shaman is the toughest matchup, because the one thing you need as the Rogue is time. And you know, backstabbing a minion or 2 against Shaman, from what we've seen, doesn't really work all that great.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Backstab doesn't kill off the Trog. The Trog can continue to get stronger. You might have to use your dagger to take some extra damage to straight
Yeah.
out the board. And then they're face attacking you a lot. I'm inclined to believe that Shaman's the best, followed by probably the Druid, just because it's more reliable than anything else. And then we'll just wrap it up with the good old Mage versus Rogue, just like we started the previous series with Forsen versus Strifecrow. Seems to be the most reasonable line of choices. Although realistically, if Forsen feels like it's time to wrap it, call it a day, he can pick his weakest deck and try to just win with that.
Well, it's Trog into Totem Golem. That is pretty good.
Yeah, Trog,
Oh, but
Totem
it is
Golem.
Blood Mage into Backstab. That's also pretty good.
Yeah, it's probably the best answer, honestly. Is there any other thing that you want? It's almost as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Now, is he going to do the third part of this play, which is emote? He chooses not to. Okay, he's being a little bit tame. I like it. He's picking his battles, Griff. He only knows when he's got the surefire win, he goes all out.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing when you emote spam and then lose, just like what we saw happen to Forsen earlier.
Yeah. Oh, that was pretty embarrassing. But you know what? It's kind of why we love him.
Is there any card you could have drawn to improve this turn?
You mean
like I wonder if
or Amnesiac.
Amnesiac. Like I wonder if attacking first and maybe getting something better was ever going to be an option. Probably not though.
No, there's not like easy 3 damage, 3 removal like Bash in the deck, so I don't think so.
Oh, here we go. This is when the shenanigans begin.
Violet Teacher. One of the most powerful cards to handle aggro because a lot of your spells just give those 1/1 tokens which allow you to pressure back onto your opponent or clear the board. Hunter Hero Power is one of the best that you can ask for. Druid's also okay.
Yeah. Definitely quite good. Goes for the clear here.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well. Those 1/1s can be such a problem later on. I also think I like the Eviscerate Van Cleef play.
What about Sap Van Cleef? Nah, probably not. Yeah, probably Eviscerate's better. Probably. I don't know. It's hard to say because either way you have to give up damage or take damage. So I think you'd rather just give up damage portion because you don't want to take too much from the Shaman.
Yeah, the Van Cleef I think is a lot better than the Farseer, just because the 2 damage reach is quite common, but the 3 damage reach usually involves a Rockbiter investment, and you're happy when that happens.
Don't worry, love.
Yep, good point. Good point.
So annoying.
It is. Just you can't cleanly remove it with the hand you have, but Phantom Knives certainly help. Whoa,
Oh, so good.
Oh my goodness! Right off the top. Back-to-back top decks with Phantom Knives SI, and it's in that order. Oh, looks like we got a little spectator flub here.
Well, we do know that that SI is definitely being played, and that board was absolutely being cleared by Amnesiac. So it looks like Amnesiac was in a good spot. Low 20s on HP with a heal, but he was pushing high mana crystals. Like I think that was turn 6 that he cleared the board with. So I think overall Amnesiac is probably in terrific shape here, just because he has the time that you rarely expect to have in this matchup.
Yeah. Can Forsen get the Doomhammer though? Because it's one of those things where it's just like Rogue might run out of time. But the more mana Rogue collects with some of these spells on Gadget and Auctioneer, better.
You want to just YOLO Gadgetson?
YOLO? No. I think if you have no other play.
Okay, looks like he's gonna sap here, just to get the most possible tempo.
It's kind of funny that so many people are bringing Miracle, but Forsen didn't bring it, because that's what Forsen's claim to fame was. Back in the day. Forsen got #1 on both servers, EU and NA, with Miracle Rogue, back when his stream was centered around gameplay.
Alright. Oh, another sap.
Another spell.
I got the best
That's
Sap
pretty
the sap the
decent.
wolf. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can also
sap the
consider
wolf
sapping
is,
the trog.
yeah, but if you sap the wolf, you can kill the leper gnome, and that's very nice. And you have to imagine that Forsen has to kill the gadgets in here.
Yeah,
Has to.
it's too much of a threat. But I mean, it's not that even that he has to, but Rogue's almost on no cards without the card engine. I mean, who's really the one in a good spot here when they're both top decking?
Yeah.
Do you think it's Shaman or do you think it's Rogue? It's a
Well, this
board
is
clear?
quite poor. It's a board clear, but it is pretty poor. Do you think you'd go for it?
Is there like a fancy way to board clear and keep a deadly poison charge? I don't think so. Like if you flurry first, SI. Oh, you can.
Yeah, there
Flurry
is.
first?
There's exactly that. Yeah, flurry
Yeah.
first, SI, deadly poison.
Yeah, I like that. So you can keep the second charge and keep it relevant for killing whatever comes out next.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even that fancy. It's just good. Aw. He doesn't want to take damage at all. He's really scared.
You take 3 damage, so
Yeah. He's scared of like Doom Hammer off the top.
This guy's
We've all been there.
all right. Well, in the draw 1 card game, the rogue wins unless that card is Doomhammer on the shaman side.
Yeah. I think if Rogue just draws preps and stuff. Oh man, would you play it?
Yes.
He's keeping it because he just wants to be the guaranteed draw. It doesn't necessarily give him Doom
Oh
Hammer.
no!
Hello? That is 4 turns of 6 damage. That's 24, but he can also cut his turn short by having that lava burst. And Forsen just got a breath of fresh air in this series. If he can survive a couple more turns, he's just gonna end it.
No, next turn it's likely to be lethal.
Oh man. 6 damage, 11. He just has to take 3 more damage.
Oh,
But-
that was a bit of a slip up there. I don't think it really mattered if the SI was stealthed or not.
Oh man. This is starting to get really tense. Farseer. Is that going to put him out of range? I mean, depends. We have to see what he's going to draw. Leper Gnome's not it.
Nope, that is not lethal. He's a
8.
little bit short here.
11, 12. I mean, there's plenty of draws here for Miracle to end it. Miracle just needs 1 damage.
But it's not going to happen. Like, there's just no way that you win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forsen just gives
Wow.
up.
Forsen concedes, and that's a 3-0 for Amnesiac. He's going to advance to day number 3 to the finals after taking down Forsen, who looked like he was in a reasonable position to advance when he was tied with Strife Crow, but ends up bowing
Sweep
out
again.
here.
Yeah, Amnesiac apparently is on a roll here after a little bit of a slip up in the opening game. 3-0 against Forsen and just earlier 3-0 against Eloise. Pretty good stuff, especially considering that it is a new format and it's not really one that you can prepare too much. You're really working off of assumptions and guesswork, and seems like he's hit a good spot. Up next, we have Kibler versus Tice. We will see our final match. Who will advance to the final day's worth of games, where the money is at? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, guys. So when we come back, our last games of the day. Once again, a shout out to Geek Fuel and Curse Network for helping us put on the event. And when we come back, we're going to see who is getting the final spot for the first half of the players. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back in just a sec.